Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hi everybody, welcome to another fantastic Ask an Engineer. We're broadcasting live from downtown Manhattan in the Adafruit secret headquarters filled of bins.
Yeah.
Bins. We have them. I'm Lady Ada, I'm the engineer. With me is Adabot.
Hello.
He's on camera control. We have Becky.
Hello, I'm over here.
Who's all the way over there.
Yeah.
The
She'll
other
be in this
end.
chair later. We're gonna
See you guys later.
See you guys later. She'll be popping by later on. She's also on camera control and chat moderation. We got all sorts of fun stuff in the show today, from news to new stuff to cats to rubies. Tell them what's on tonight's show, Adabot.
On tonight's show, we'll talk about the show and tell. It's Robot Week. Lots of announcements in the world of open source hardware, from a foundation to a survey to a summit. We'll talk about stopping smoking using an Arduino. Ask an Educator, a bunch of new posts this week. We have some new Adafruit Academy requirements documents for earning badges. An awesome project using the Adafruit Internet of Things printer. We have our mailbag. We have
Packet.
Lots of new products. We have Partfinder Friday. We've got a coin acceptor. We've got lockpicks. We've got battery holders. We've got some new sensors. We've got LCDs. And we're going to answer your questions. We'll have some top secret stuff. We have a trivia question. We'll have a cat.
Meow meow.
All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
He looks kind of angry in that photo.
Cats always look angry. That's the thing. Okay.
That's cool. It was a really nice day out today.
Yeah.
A good day for engineering.
Okay. Let's talk about the show and tell. So we had a big show and tell. A lot of people were on here. It was a full house. So let's try to remember. Sean Bonner had the new SafeCast
that
thing.
Bunny made.
Yeah, it looks like a photon torpedo. It's super cool. Another vote for clear electronics.
It's like soap dish, soapy.
You see soap, I see photon torpedoes.
Photon torpedoes are not this small.
Oh, yes, they are. Next generation one. No, well, I mean, they look like that. They look like that.
Anyhow, it's an OLED display with a pancake sensor, and it's sort of designed to be a long-term sensor. And Bunny's working with some company, Medco, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll write it up. It's cool. These are going to get made.
Yeah, so I guess they're in test.
Project.
Yeah, and they're writing firmware software for it right now, I guess. I don't know exactly.
And then what else was on the show? We had this, there was a cool portable battery breadboard power supply.
Yeah.
Thing, using a boost converter.
There's a AA battery boost converter thing.
Michael went to a flea market, electronic flea market. We'll post up photos of that later.
Yeah.
We had, what else? What else did we have? LEDs, RGB LED strip in a polar bear exhibit.
Yeah, there's some of the exhibit.
Yeah, first time on the show that a polar bear was on it.
Yeah, and then they were using a DMX interface.
Yeah.
For the LED strip.
Yep. And then we had
and Flash.
Director, because they're using Lingo.
Is that like pre-Flash?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
And then there was Ethan. He had his. He's going to test the.
He's working his quadcopter.
Yeah, he's going to test the
GPS module.
And then he has quadcopter project, which is really interesting. He's running into a problem with maybe noise interfering with GPS. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
And then who else did we have? We had the fellow who has a girl who comes into his room and tries to choke him with food, so he made an Arduino controlled Nerf gun.
I don't completely understand that whole story, but
it was awesome.
It's a dorm situation.
Yeah, it was a dorm situation. So he has
at
a
MIT
Nerf...
we just like give each other calculus problems. We don't.
No, this is full on Nerf war, so it's kind of neat. And then
I hope she comes on the show next week with like Counter-Strike technology.
Yeah, and then we had the DICE. The noise project, the random noise project.
Yeah, the random number generator.
Which is neat to watch that project go from kind of a prototype now to a finished thing. So you can plug it into a breadboard and use this neat diode noise technique.
Yeah, he made a sub-module for all your random number generation
needs. Cool. And then, a Geiger counter, like, radiation's one way to do it, but this is also a good way to do it.
It's definitely cheaper than a Geiger counter, which is a couple $100.
And then we also had another person who showed, what was the last one?
Ethan was there?
Yeah, Ethan was there.
We talked about Ethan.
Yeah, there was one more that I'm forgetting. I'm so sorry. It was full house.
The guy with the fingerprint sensor?
Yeah.
Kevin? Yeah,
he was showing the fingerprint sensor, and it was the ducks. And there was a Cambridge Maker Faire.
Right.
And then he has a really cool aesthetic that his designer has for these enclosures with the fingerprint scanner. And then also
black plastic?
Yeah.
Black plastic is an aesthetic.
I like black plastic.
Okay.
It's the new aesthetic. I don't know if you've heard. Anyways, so let's get on to the code this week. It's Robot Week. The code is Robot Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me all about Robot Week.
Well, Robot Week is National Robotic Week, and Jessica was here from Parallax. Oh, quick programming note. Aya was going to be here this week. She had to go do something.
No, she'll be here next week.
She'll probably, well,
whatever.
sometime in the future.
Sometime in the future.
Anyways.
She's in Soho, so she's really nearby.
Yeah, she's out of the state right now. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's not here.
Okay.
So, anyways, it's Robotics Week. So it's 10% off everything in our robotics category. And that's a good deal, and I'll tell you why. So if you go to our robotics category...
What is in our robotics
Well, there's
category?
stuff that's normally not on sale. So
we have the Parallax Bobot.
We have the Bobot, the Motor Shield, but the stuff that we normally don't put on sale, the solenoid, the servos, slip rings, steppers, and the robot arm, hobby motors, and all the stuff in our robotics category that we're slowly building out. That's all on sale, so that's celebrating Robotics Week. That is almost over.
Great.
Just real quick, for the folks who want to be on the show and tell, can you tell them what to do?
To get on the show and tell, super easy. Just add yourself to my personal show and tell circle on Google+. So that's the Lady Ada account. And then just on a recent post where I say, hey, post here, comment here to get added to the circle, comment, and I'll add you to the circle, and then you'll get the invite when we do the hangout.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, for the folks who are on Google+, they updated everything.
It's all weird now.
So you'll notice our Google Plus page is updated. It seems easier to use and things are working out better. The Hangouts have been fantastic, by the way. But we're still stuck with your account because yours is enabled for broadcast and record. So that's totally fine.
So that's cool because it means that like by now the YouTube should already have our recording, right?
That's right. The show and tell is being transcoded and uploaded as we speak.
Auto-magically.
So, yeah. So that's always good. But anyways, if you're interested, the Adafruit Industries page, we have a lot of stuff that just goes on there because it's super quick and lots of different people from Adafruit post to it. So by lots I mean like 3. But do check it out, and we have lots of links, and we also once in a while put some behind the scenes stuff at Adafruit, some sales, and like all sorts of cool stuff. Anyways, some news in the world of open source hardware.
Yes,
lots of big news.
There's a John Junior came on the show and tell last week and told us all about the survey, which
ends tomorrow.
Right, so you still have time.
So we'll skip to that.
If you haven't filled out the survey, fill out the survey because they're looking for even more information about how people use and make open source hardware. So even if you don't use or make open source hardware, hey, answer anyways. Just so I know.
Yeah, if you've ever used an Arduino,
that counts.
That counts. I mean, like that's in some way, if you do any type of hobbyist electronics now, I think it's hard not to run into open source hardware.
Right.
And speaking of, there is an open source hardware association now. It's a real foundation that Alicia Gibb is heading up.
OSHA.
Yeah.
OSHWA.
OSHWA. But this is excellent news. So everyone's talked about this forever.
Yeah.
You should have a foundation. There should be a foundation. There should be someone representing the interest for open source hardware, helping people who want to do open source hardware, who have businesses, helping people who want to know more about open source hardware. This is fantastic. So
what do they do?
Well, it's just getting started.
Oh.
And there's all sorts of people on the board. Check it out. Alicia's heading it up. She has a lot of experience writing grants and making things happen. A lot of people might remember her from the Open Source Hardware Summit. So this is really good. Do check it out. This is really important. We're excited by this because this means that someone's going to represent our interests out there in the world for open source hardware. And there's business leaders on the board. There's people who do who have their own open source hardware projects. There's people who are lawyers. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So do check it out. We'll probably donate to it when there becomes an opportunity to do that. And we're super excited. So check it out. As we said before, the survey, it closes tomorrow. Do fill it out. It helps them.
Yeah.
And then last up, the summit was announced. The Open Source Hardware Association announced that the Open Hardware Summit will be at iBeam on September 27th.
Oh, that's a good location.
That's a good location. Katerina Moda and Dustin Roberts. Dustin Roberts was on the show before.
Yes.
And we'll have both of them at some point to talk about the Open Hardware Summit.
Yep.
So we'll get them. They're both in New York.
Yeah, I and Alicia have passed the torch to Katerina and Dustin.
Yeah.
So they'll be running it. iBeam is a good location. iBeam is where
you were there.
and I were both researchers in residence. So it's a really good location, and it's nice in central Manhattan and in Chelsea. And it's also really, it's a great location just because there's all these art galleries, and also iBeam is really interesting because they have that sort of Fab Lab thing going on.
Yep.
So that's cool. And that's September 27th.
Yeah.
And so that's the week, that's the 2 days before Maker Faire New York, or
I think so. I
Probably.
don't know the exact dates on this,
it
but they're
tends to
usually
be
around the same
It
time.
tends to be the
Yeah.
same weekend, so you can go to both.
And if you're going to Maker Faire in San Francisco, there is an Open Hardware Business Summit.
Yeah.
By the way, like, Open Hardware has worked out.
But Phil, is it mainstream yet?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons that I feel great. I don't have to convince people that this is a good thing anymore. You don't have to convince people it's a good thing anymore. It has legs. It's on its own.
It's running away like a chicken.
Yeah. The people out there that are working on this are fantastic.
Yeah.
So
No, it's in good hands.
all exciting. Speaking of open hardware.
Yeah, you would like this project from the blog.
I like this project. Someone sent this in, and I thought this was really neat. So this person wanted to quit smoking, so they decided to use a bunch of different. It's an Arduino. It has a perma proto board, it's a little chronodot, and it has the little display cell, and it keeps track of how often this person hasn't smoked,
Right.
And it tells him how much he's saved. So at the time of this, he's been smoke-free for 7 days, and he saved $74.11.
Well, it's like a pack a day is like
And
$6,
it's
right?
about the size of a pack of cigarettes,
Right,
a
so
little bit smaller.
you grab your pack of cigarettes, and instead it's a little mint tin telling you that $74. That's actually quite a lot of money.
Yeah. So I think this is really cool. So when he sent this project in, I said, look, if you can not smoke for like 60 days, I'll give you $50 in the Adafruit store.
Wow.
Because I figured that's really good incentive.
But he said he's smoke-free for 7 days
Yeah, 7
and
days
14
so far.
hours.
Yeah.
So he has 2 months to go.
Yeah.
But if he makes it, we're going to give him.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him buy some stuff in the Adafruit store.
Okay, but not our cigarette kits.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna send him a pack of smokes. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
No, I think it's cool.
Cool.
I think this is a nice. It's nice because a lot of people. What I like about Arduino and like all this DIY technology is people can actually make their own personal gadgets, and like this is something that I don't know that this exists in real life, like not real life, but I don't think you can buy this in the store. There's no such device.
Yeah.
There's probably an app or something, but like then you have to have an iPhone. This is something that you can build on your own.
I think this is cooler than just getting a medicated patch. This is like building your own electronic project. It's neat.
Yeah.
Next up on the blog, there are 3 really good Ask an Educator posts. Do check this out. We have a real live school teacher doing these.
A real live one.
Yeah.
Did you catch him? Is it like organic, free range, or what?
Yes. The first one was, how can I learn about basic electronics if my school doesn't offer any courses? The next one was, how do you teach STEM concept to kindergartners and first and second graders? And the third one was, how do you teach a subject that you're not an expert in? So this is from Adam Kemp. He's a school teacher who's been doing this for a while, and he posts up weekly things on the Adafruit blog to help educators teach people about electronics. Cool stuff. And speaking of, he's been working with his students and with
we have an LED.
Yeah, so
now.
so when we released these badges, the Adafruit skill badges, some people said, oh, well, what if I want to use them as part of curriculum so I can self-award it to students or kids at hackerspaces or whatever. And Adam has been building real requirement documents. He was a Boy Scout. And so if you want an LED badge, he wrote up...
A Boy Scout and a teacher?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? It's great.
He's like the nicest guy in the world. Huh?
Yeah, he's super nice. And if you wanted to award kids for learning how to use a laser cutter, he has a requirements doc. 3D printing has a requirements doc.
Or just
LED.
learn it yourself. You want to know what sort of information, like, what is a good curriculum for yourself to study so that you can personally award yourself a 3D printing badge. Maybe you have a MakerBot.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really good sheet
So
to feel like you are an expert at.
Yeah, so we like this style because we think it's going to be nearly impossible for the world to agree what it will take for you to earn a laser cutting badge. Mm-hmm. And although the Girl Scouts announced that they're now allowing the Girl Scouts to create their own badges, which is super cool.
So what, each troop can create their own badge?
No, a Girl Scout can create her own badge.
And does anyone approve it, or how does it work?
Not the Girl Scout, I don't know. But we posted up on our blog.
You sure?
Yeah, not. So,
are we selling cookies?
I'm not selling cookies. I cleared the cookies out of my browser. Anyways, so this is really helpful. So we think it's going to be more peer-to-peer learning, and we think it's really handy. But this is a guide.
Yeah.
If you're someone who wants to teach kids or adults on how to use a laser cutter, this is a really good requirement stuff because at the end you get this badge.
Yep.
And check out our Educator section and the Educator tag category on Adafruit, and you'll see all this. It's a really interesting story that's developing. So.
Okay.
Anyways, and I suspect, this is a guess, that we're going to see Girl Scouts do
Robots,
3D printing, laser cutting, and LEDs before the Boy Scouts make official badge. I think the race is on, personally. Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to happen. Next up. This is kind of big news. So we released the Internet of Things printer.
Yes, our kit.
And someone came up with this amazing, server backend that prints out weather, that does Foursquare.
It's in Rails and stuff, or I don't even know.
Yeah, it's really cool. So check it out. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but
what's neat is can I just say a couple things about it? So our printer, the printer that we made was very simple. It used only text-based information, so it would print out tweets or whatever, but it would only be text-based. But this guy is I guess a designer, and was like, wow, these text-based messages are really boring looking. So in the library we wrote on GitHub, we do show how to print bitmap graphics directly to the printer. And there's no reason you can't just continuously print bitmap image. You can make a bitmap image as long as you want, as long as you can stream that data. And so he figured out a way to use an SD card to store data, and then you read it off, and then you print it, so that the images are generated by the web service backend, but then it's streamed to the Ethernet Arduino and then print out. So as soon as we have some time, we're going to get this working on our Internet of Things printer. Yeah. Because it looks really cool. This is really nice.
It's fantastic. And
prints out Sudoku and stuff.
Yeah, and for the folks who saw the demo video of this thing called Berg, it was by these designers.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful because it showed all these graphics from Foursquare and weather, and you get these Sudoku things. That's interesting. It was a concept thing. Yeah. This is actually open source software that people can download and play around with right now.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. So the fellow was posting up in Google+. We did a post on it, and we're going to get it working with the Internet of Things printer. And we like this. It's really neat. I've been sending this to the folks at Patch Bay, and they're really excited by it.
Yeah.
And that's from...
Does it use Patch Bay? No, but
but Patch
you
Bay,
could add it to the Patch Bay backend.
And there's some cool things that people did with Patch Bay already, where every day it could print out the air quality.
Right. That's right. Somebody already did that.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's for that's all working with our Internet of Things printer. This week in the mailbag.
Packet.
Hi,
I'm Packet.
Yeah. The mailbag for this week. It was about 5 years ago. I was reading Slashdot and came across a post about a do-it-yourself MP3 player called Inventy MP3. That's your project. My mind was blown. I was a programmer already, but I didn't have any experience handling hardware-level programming or circuit design. The tutorial by our Lady Ada was a revelation. I had not been exposed to the idea that someone could build something like this in a garage, and I was totally hooked. I signed up for some classes in their embedded engineering program, and I've been obsessed with this stuff ever since. I'm in my garage playing with stepper motors right now. I know that Lady Ada inspired a lot of geeks like me. See, it's nice. So
that is nice.
Yeah. So that's your Minty MP3 player that you did.
Yeah.
And it was posted up on Slashdot, and it killed your server at the time.
That's right. It was on the Media Lab server. They don't have very good servers, unfortunately, the Media Lab.
All right.
They weren't ready for Slashdotting. Although Slashdotting now doesn't. I don't even think that such a thing exists anymore.
Believe it or not, Slashdot does have a lot of traffic, but it's not as much as some of the other tech sites now.
I remember Dig used to be a really
big
thing, but now I don't know of anything that's a really. There's not one site.
Servers are getting good.
It's
really hard to take down a server.
Yeah.
Next up, Partfinder Friday. You want to do this?
Yeah, sure. We finally are getting back into doing our part finders after a little bit of vacation. This one is a chip that I sort of happened across looking at a battery level meter, and I was like, what is this chip? It was the LM3914. And some people even posted in the comments that there's actually a family of chips, the 3914, 15, 16, and then maybe 17, I don't remember. And the 3914 is a linear-based LED sort of bar graph driver. You can give it an analog voltage, and it will light up the LEDs in order to match that level. So it would be really good for a battery meter, basically, is what I thought it would be good for. So you could have LEDs that light up in order based on how full the battery is. And then there's a version that has 3 dB it's logarithmic, and it uses 3 dB per level, and so that one would be really good for a VU meter or a sort of spectrum analyzer type project. And so these are really fun little dip chips. These chips are all from when nowadays everything is surface mount if you want anything complicated, but back then they actually would have a chip that's it's a bar graph driver. Yeah. I don't know why, but it's just this is kind of the chips that people designed in the 80s and 90s. And so these are still around. You can get them in DigiKey for a couple bucks. They're super cool. I don't know. If you ever want to do a project with bar graphs, they're this might make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And it's a constant current, which is really nice.
And check out our new Partfinder section with all these little part creatures.
Yes,
So,
part creatures.
It is more fun to look at because I imagine them talking to me, but that's
Hello!
just the thing that I imagine. All right,
yeah.
so, back to business here. The code is Robot Week in celebration of Robot Week. 10% off all the things in the robot sections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to switch it up now. It's going to be new products time.
Away! Adabot,
Yeah.
come here. Becky?
I was about to paste the code, but you can do it now.
Yeah, we're going to switch up. So new products. All right, you want to talk about new products?
Yeah, okay, so we got a bunch of fun new products today. Hello, Becky.
Hello.
Becky's not a new product, but she's just hanging out.
Welcome, new product.
The fancy Becky.
Oh,
Prime
yeah,
quality.
oh.
So the first thing we've got these awesome coin acceptors. And these are really neat. I've actually had these for a while.
Coin acceptor.
Coin acceptor.
That's the 4-coin acceptor.
Yeah, so we have two kinds of coin acceptors. Cause I actually got a full range of acceptors, and I couldn't decide which one to get. Hello?
Yeah. No.
No.
It's
fine.
No, if you need her. This one's
Hello?
If you want her here. Everything's cool.
Everything's cool.
Okay. Oh,
Becky,
You
hello.
gotta say checkbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We're learning Ustream here.
No. No, she knows it.
We've got,
I
so
know,
we've
it's
got
just
two.
a different setup than I'm used to.
We've got two coin acceptors. We've got this black one that's a single coin acceptor, and it can only take one coin at a time, so you can program it for any coin, but it can only accept one. And then we've got the other one, which is the 4-coin acceptor. And this one, you can program it for 4 different coins. So, for example, you could have 4 different countries worth of coins, or you can have, like, all American coins, but, like, 4 different values. And then...
How does it tell the difference between the coins, Lamar?
Well, you can program it, and I'm not going to show the details of the programming, because the way you program it is actually, you turn it on while you're pressing this button, you hold the button down, and then it, like, blinks, and then...
What's it looking for?
Well, when you program the coins in, you basically tell it, okay, this is coin number 1 for like this multi-coin one, and you basically have to put in like 25 coins of a single value, and it looks for like the thickness and the diameter and how fast it falls and like all these little variables, and then after it gets like 25 samples and you programmed it in, and then you can continue and do the remainder. So like, yeah, this one can do 4 different coins, so you can program it for like dimes, nickels, quarters, and $half or something. And the slot's pretty big, so you can, I think it's like an inch diameter. Like you can put in like dollar coins, and this one has
Can it
a little.
take tokens?
You can take any kind of coin, up to like I think 3 millimeters thick. So it doesn't have to be real money. I mean, you program it in by giving it examples of what coin you want, and then it just takes the average of those. So I have a demo over on the overhead for this single coin acceptor.
Please show us.
So here I've got a coin acceptor. Here, this is the single coin acceptor, and I have it already programmed in. I'm not going to show it programming because it's just like, look at me, I'm putting in the quarter like 20 times. But I have a little LCD here, and hopefully it's pretty visible. It says, please insert coin, and then when a coin gets put in, it can count how many credits you have. And the coin comes out of the slot on the bottom. So you basically put a cup or a bucket underneath, and that's how you can...
Well, it's good. It doesn't get full, really.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have a hopper, so it doesn't get full, which is really handy. And so it's pretty easy. Basically, once you have it programmed, there's a wire that pulses high or low. You can actually configure which way you want it to pulse whenever a coin is inserted. So you just count pulses, and I'll have a little piece of example code out.
So also, do you think it could accept laser cut coins?
I don't know if it could. I mean,
they might not be heavy enough.
If something is, I mean, it doesn't matter how heavy it is as long as it's thin enough. And laser cut, you'd have to be very thin laser cut material. The other thing is variations. Might be too sensitive. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah, and then there's like a sensitivity variable, right?
I don't
on
believe.
one of them.
I don't believe
Strictness.
it has. There's a strictness. But I mean, I don't know how. It doesn't really say what that strictness is.
Try it and tell us.
It might work. It certainly doesn't need to be magnetic because these aren't magnetic.
Yeah, coins aren't.
Coins aren't magnetic. I remember when we talked about the payphone. It did have. It did go through a magnet though, because it creates an eddy current which slows it down, and it can tell you a lot about what the material is. Mm-hmm. But I really doubt that they're gonna. I don't believe that they have a magnet in here. So I believe that you can use, any kind of coin shaped object, basically. So yes, these are really easy to use, which I really like. They're usually used in like arcades and stuff. Yeah, and you can basically configure them to any country, which is I like too. There's some that are like, oh, this is a U.S. quarter only, but then you wouldn't be able to use it with any other coins, and you also wouldn't be able to use it in other countries. So I like how these are really flexible and programmable.
Cool.
Yeah, we're curious what people are going to do with it. I mean, that's kind of one of the fun things about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is next?
Next up, we have a quick new item. We just got these in today. These are really handy little pocket tool emergency pick cards.
Awesome.
So I'll show them the overhead. Yeah, because it's pretty small. So yeah, these are really nice. I don't know. I think they're stamped stainless steel, not laser cut.
Yeah, it looks stamped.
And yeah, there's 2 pieces of metal or 1 piece of metal, and they're stamped. And so you can see the tool logo. And this is a little business card, standard business card shape. And it comes with 6 picks, and then the frame here is a torque wrench.
That's awesome. Wrench. That's really cool.
So you can snap this out, and there's 1 wrench here, and 1 wrench here, and then 1 longer wrench that goes this way. And I don't want to snap this apart because, well,
so you need to make sure when you get stuck in a situation where you need your lockpicks that you also have your wallet on you for the wallet size thing. Much better than always remembering to carry your full size lockpick kit around with you whenever you might need
I don't usually carry, but it is really nice. It fits very nicely inside of a wallet. So it's a really nice gift or just super handy. Unfortunately, once you pull it apart, you can't use it again, but hopefully you're not in a situation where you need to use lockpicks that often.
Right. I feel like this is the emergency one that you keep in your wallet in case somebody locks you in a dungeon.
Or if you just need to entertain somebody or do lockpicks. I don't know.
Right. Or
you're part of Occupy. I don't
emergency help a starving dog from a locked up lot.
Okay.
If you work for the ASPCA or something.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly. Emergency
preparedness. What I like about these is that, Kevin Mitnick has his own business card version of this, but it's not actually usable, whereas this is it's like solid stamped stainless steel. Like it is actually a usable pick set.
It's not just going to bend when you try
Yeah, it's not just like flimsy comes apart. It's actually useful as is, so it's really great. And, if somebody really wanted to have these customized, I bet you could contact them and they would make customized ones if you wanted a business card. You'd probably have to order like 300, but yeah.
Cool. What's next?
Next up is the battery coin holder.
Oh yeah, I love these. So
this is the smallest non-rechargeable coin holder we could find, and we thought this would be really great for wearable projects or small portable projects.
It's so cool. It can go in your freaking hair.
It's swallowable. Yeah, it can go in your hair. It can go in your shoes. It has 2 CR2032 coin slots in it, and they're in series, so it gives you 6 volts.
Very cool.
And if you want 3 volts, I would just stick some tinfoil in, and I can show it also on the overhead. That's pretty simple. So we have it with a JST connector on the end, just because they're like, oh, you want a connector on it? And we're like, oh, yeah, sure, put this JST connector on it. So if you have a project that has a JST plug, or you can just cut it off and use it as is. There's a nice on-off switch.
I love that, the on-off switch, because the sewable battery holders we carry are really cool, and they're awesome for projects you want to leave the battery in, but the built-in power switch is really great, because you don't have to pop the battery out, you don't have to put in an additional switch.
Yeah.
I personally plan on making wedding hair arrangements and tiaras.
Tiaras.
And shoe projects are really always fun too.
Yeah, and you can see inside there's these little springs, and then they're connected in series. This is the connector, and then if you need only 3 volts because you want to save batteries, or you don't need 6 volts, just stick some tinfoil in one of the slots, and then the snaps close nicely. It's not waterproof, but
it still might be. It's small enough and low profile enough that you could totally just electrical tape it to your bike if you wanted to have a little bike light, or it's really super fun to get you started.
They're super cheap too, so it's not like
it
matters if you go through a couple. I like power supplies that aren't expensive.
And the thing I like about these is that rechargeable lithium polymers, the small ones are good for wearable projects, but they are dangerous. I mean, it's a lithium polymer battery anyway.
Right, you start a fire or burn you.
You puncture it and it's just like fluids. Whereas these coin batteries, I mean, they're not you don't want to swallow them, but they're easy to get. You don't have to recharge them. This is really small and lightweight, so it's a good alternative when you want to have a portable project and you just want to use coin batteries. And we sell the matching coin cells in the store. They're not too expensive, and they pack a bit of charge on them.
It's awesome. I love these. Woo.
Yeah, you're ready. You're ready to do some wearable projects with them.
Oh, here's another picture I found.
Good job.
It's the same but different. Okay, cool.
Next up, we have an updated product. We have the barometric pressure sensor, the BNP 085. And we've been going through all our sensors and updating them so they're now 5-volt friendly.
Oh, that's great.
So this barometric pressure sensor, we added a bunch of circuitry. You can see all the parts around it, and basically works exactly the same as before. But now you can have 5-volt power input and 5-volt logic input, totally safe. You don't have to worry about messing up your readings or your sensor. It's got level shifting built in, so that's cool.
Okay, awesome. Boop 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 boop. Moving right along. What do you want to show next?
Next up are these LCDs with backpacks on them. So we have our really nice custom-made 16x2 RGB LCDs. They're character LCDs and are 16x2 standard, but they're color, so you can see that you can have green, or you can have yellow, or you can have magenta.
Negative or positive?
Well, this one's a positive one.
Okay, good.
And the thing that we like about these is that they're awesome character displays, and they're fairly low cost. The problem is that you need a lot of pins for them, because you need 6 pins to control the display, and then 3 pins for the backlight. And we have a shield version, but it isn't PWM, and so we wanted to have something where if you want to have a full range of colors, and you want to use USB or TTL serial, which is a common way to connect to these displays. So we made a circuit board backpack that you can attach to the back. And
you want to go to the overhead?
No, you can go
look
to
at the back.
Yeah, this is a good photo. So it solders onto the back, and then you can plug in a mini B USB cable, so you can see that. Or we include a cable that you can power it with 5 volts, ground, and then white for serial input. The default is 9600 baud, and it follows the matrix orbital sort of standard specification, which is a really, really good specification. It can control like the backlight and the display and do custom characters and auto scrolling and all this really good stuff. So it's pretty much ready to go out of the box. It's actually kind of like the auto scrolling. So if you send it data, it'll automatically sort of go to the next line and next line. So we're starting out by having these available for our positive and negative displays. This is the negative blue, negative green, and negative violet. One of the things we did, which I really like, is you can use serial TTL or USB, and it automatically selects whichever it's getting data from. So you don't have to do any configuration. We'll have this for our 20x4 LCDs as well soon. We just want to get it started by doing the 16x2. And I have a little demo here on the overhead. So this one is just, you can see there's a custom character for the heart. Let's see if it shows up. Heart Arduino, and you can change the backlight, so it's doing full 8-bit on every color, so it's like 24-bit color PWM backlighting, and I'm controlling it with the TTL cable, but it works great also with a USB cable. So if you want to use like something like LCD Proc or LCD Smarty, this works perfectly out of the box, and we'll do some fun projects with this. But this is another way for people to add these LCDs to their projects, this time with only 1 pin.
Nice.
And we have example code and everything, of course.
Great.
Cool. I think. Oh, and then.
What's that?
I think that's it.
Yeah, those are new products. We got some stuff that's not out yet.
Yeah, we'll show that. It's not out yet.
Yeah, and we got some other stuff.
And more stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it for new products for today.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, we're gonna switch again. Yeah.
Yeah. Wanna go switch around? All right.
Awesome.
We'll do the share.
NFC stuff on
We'll do the share shuffle.
Yeah.
Share shuffle. Zoom.
Okay.
All right.
Hello again.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I was gone. What do you want to do next? Do you want to answer general questions? Do you want to do it's not out yet? What do you want to
let's answer some general. Oh, yeah. Let's show. It's not out yet. We should do that. You'll show your stuff, and then
I just have one thing.
Okay.
It's not out yet. Don't ask. Here it is. It is a Ruby badge. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So this is we're adding another programming badge to the badge lineup, and this is the Ruby badge, and it looks like a Ruby. So that's it. It's not out yet. I don't know when we're gonna get these done, but.
Well, this is the sew out, right? Or is this a
This is the sew out. No, this is sew out.
Okay,
yeah.
so
a couple weeks or so.
Yeah. So this is for people who really like the Ruby language.
Yep.
Which I haven't learned. Like the last language I learned was Python, and then I kind of haven't been learning languages as much. But I hear a lot about Ruby, especially the Rails.
Yeah, we have a Python badge.
And we have a Python badge. I know Python. I like Python. We don't have a Perl badge.
Probably
good. We don't have a Perl badge.
I don't know if there's.
We also don't have like a shed awk badge.
Yeah. You know, I kind of go by what a lot of people are asking for, and Ruby was most requested. Python.
I don't want to say that Perl is out of style, but it definitely doesn't have the following that it used to have.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's the glue that still runs a lot of things.
It is the best glue language, even better than Python, because even though I like Python, the built-in regular expression stuff in Perl, just how fast it is to like quickly do like parsing and sorting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, but I'll learn Ruby maybe.
So we got some more. It's not out yet. But,
yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of out.
Well, it's still not released.
Not released, but first look. Here it is. Ready? You want me to do the overhead?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. World premiere.
We have our NFC shields finally done and pick and placed, and we're putting them in the shop. So we're going to have this be, it's not out yet, but then we had a little bit of time to actually test a bunch and get them bagged up and in the store. So we've taken our super popular NFC breakout board using the PN532, and we've updated it. First off, this uses the I2C interface, so it uses only the I2C pins. And it uses an IRQ pin, which is really handy because it doesn't require polling. You don't have to constantly ask it, is there a card there? Is there a card there? It'll actually pulse a pin for you and tell you when there's a target, like a card or a phone or whatever in the field. We also spend a lot of time customizing and tweaking the strip line antenna that's right here. So we get 4-inch or 10 centimeter range, which is actually at the limit of what you can get out of NFC. So we can't actually make the range any better than it is. It's already maximized. But that's really good because it means that you can use these mounting holes and mount it behind like a plastic plate or a wall, and you'll probably still be able to get pretty good reception even through a barrier. So we thought that was a really nice addition. And we have a little prototyping area here, and we have an updated tutorial coming out on Tuesday, which will talk about all the little changes and how to use the shield.
Yeah. Is it strip line or micro strip?
I mean, it's strip line. I don't know.
Strip line. Okay.
You can't really see it because we had a really... usually we don't have such thick coating, but they coated it so much that you can kind of barely see here. There's this strip line antenna. It's really custom. We got this like VNA and everything. It's all good.
All right.
Okay.
Very cool. Okay, so that was, it's not out sort of yet.
Well, we'll announce this for sure next week, but we wanted people who are watching the show to get sort of first crack.
Yeah.
As it were.
All right. Okay, that was good. That's a good assortment of new products. And,
I think if something is released 5 minutes before the show, that still counts as it's not quite out.
Yeah, it's not quite. We just put it in the store so people could order it if they wanted to. These will probably go super quick. We're probably going to do some type of hacker space passport thing.
Yeah, we have to write some code, but we're going to have a hackerspace passport NFC RFID thing.
I'll let this question fly because it's kind of a general one. Can an external antenna be connected? I don't.
No, NFC doesn't
work like that. Yeah.
NFC doesn't do external antennas. It's not like GPS or cell phones. You really kind of end up almost always using a strip line antenna because you need to have the antenna be large and tuned and perfect, and it's not. Again, it's just a limited amount of power you can even push through it, even if you had an active antenna, really. 2 quick questions. Would you recommend learning Python? Yes. Yeah, I think Python's pretty good. I mean, it's a little different than most languages, but it's a pretty good early language. MIT uses it now for its introductory to computer science language.
And where do we find the corn acceptor? We have our own staff that is constantly on the lookout for cool things, so we spend a lot of time on looking out for neat stuff, and then you write the libraries and cool stuff for it.
Yeah, I have to test it. I have a huge box of coin acceptors.
Yeah, we went through a lot of bad ones.
I like these the most because I like the one that you could have 4 different coins, because I hadn't seen that before, and then the one less expensive one because you could program it for different coin sizes, which I really liked.
Someone wants to know, is this the technology that EasyPass uses? EasyPass, no, because it's longer range.
EasyPass uses a lower frequency, it's longer range, but you could only transfer like 4 bytes of data before it.
And what do you use Python for?
Oh, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, we use Python for our shipping system because it's
that's right. Wix.
It's very good.
wrote it in Python because I was lazy, and now it's institutionalized Wix Python.
Yeah.
Because it's what we have. Wix Python's pretty good.
Someone wants to know, how about an Adafruit rejects category in the shop? It's interesting because we talk about this once in a while. We have a box of like Arduino killers from companies that are like, check out our new Arduino killer, and then we have tons and tons of products that we would just never put in our store. We wouldn't want to celebrate the bad, though, because a lot of stuff that we won't carry, other companies carry, and so we wouldn't want them to feel bad about what they're carrying. And it's like a lot of the stuff that we don't want to carry, other folks are totally fine with it.
We don't want to make the components feel bad. Like,
yeah.
It's like putting them up for judgment like that. That's kind of...
We kind of like to celebrate the good and like not really talk about the bad.
These are good things.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of stuff that we try it out and we do our best to make sure that it's the best quality stuff, and you're pretty strict, so...
I'm very, very picky.
There is a big box of
I'm
stuff.
renowned for my component pickiness, if that's even a trait. Yes, we can. Is it general?
How about a discontinued item section? Well, we don't usually discontinue items. We've only retired out a few.
We retired out some that are no longer available, but usually we replace them with something else that's equivalent.
Yeah.
Or better.
Are there any RFID tags cheaper than $2.50?
Different frequency tags will be different, but the ones we have in the store are, the MyFair cards. They have memory in them. They're not just they're not just like a card that has no storage. It's just ID. The cool thing about these is they have a K of EEPROM in them, and so they're a little bit more expensive. But I think it's worth it because you can store data on the card, and we have code examples for how to do that.
Yeah. All right, you want to open up for general questions?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were in general questions.
This is kind of like general questions.
Okay.
What's the fastest way to get a reflow oven controller going? One that is useful for production boards rather than a one-off. That's a good question.
You should buy one, then.
That's the fastest way.
That's for the fastest way.
With a credit card.
Using a credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what if they want to make one?
There's no I mean, it's not fast. You know, you always have to tune and tweak. I would, if it's for production, you should just buy one.
Yeah. Let's see. Fuse box. We're thinking about working on it. We discontinued that in the store. I mean, there's...
Yeah, there was problems with the chips. There were blah blah blah. There's parts were discontinued, and we had trouble getting them. So
we have a few redesigns we're working on, but like since Fusebox came out, a lot of new stuff has happened. So I know there's some stuff we're working on revisions of.
You can get ooze boxes directly from the ooze box site though. So if you want one, just go get the one from there.
If you have a ooze box hankering, there's a place for you. Let's see. Does anyone make IR code identifier boxes? Something that would tell you what remote format code it sends. RCS, NEC, Sony, etc.
No, I think oscilloscope is kind of your best bet.
Yeah.
Somebody made a little IR receiver. I think maybe a Matt Richardson project that used some of your code where he decoded the signal from his remote.
We have that code in our tutorial, but it doesn't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
You have to look it up.
Yeah, you could write a library. That'd be nice for everybody. Yeah. Ooh, someone write a library, please. Besides you. Let's see. Becky, have you seen the Think Geek Interactive shirts?
Yes.
Yes. That's next time.
Okay, that was easy.
Yeah.
Can we have more yes or no questions for Becky?
Yeah. Let's see. Becky, would you consider the battery pack holder in their designs, or would you prefer a smaller holder?
The Think Geek t-shirts?
Yeah. I haven't seen their battery pack holders.
I don't know what the battery... I've seen the shirts. I don't know what the battery looks like. I recommend the 2 coin cell lithium battery pack holder.
Yeah, that's the smallest coin holder I've seen.
Yeah.
Our 3 AAA battery holder is also very small. Gives you about 4.5 volts.
I don't know what battery holder they use in the t-shirts.
Yeah, probably don't.
Okay. Have you guys ever made PCBs with substrates other than FR4? Roger Materials.
You can also use paper phenolic. It's cheaper.
Someone was making PCBs out of chicken feathers.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I think that was just like sort of a prototypey thing.
Yeah, and they had this cool circuit board made, and it was in the shape of a chicken. Anyways, look it up. It's
what?
true. It's true.
Chickens?
Yeah. Next up. Lemore posted somewhere, forgot exactly where, that the Max 038 chip was really cool when it was available. What are some suggested uses? Found some on eBay.
They're just a function generator chip, so you can make like synthesizers out of them, and you can make function generators out of them. They were discontinued because the fab technique got discontinued.
Yeah.
They no longer made that technique for manufacture. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
But hey, it happens.
Next, what's the best way to program large amounts of few hundred microcontrollers like the kits?
We have our standalone programmer kit in the store, and check it out, and we have some example code, and that's how we do standalone programming for much of our kits.
Yeah, when we make tools, we try to share them with people that they can use them too.
Yep.
So we do that. Next, do you recommend a rapid prototyping service?
I don't know. I mean, for what?
Yeah.
That's kind of vague for just prototyping. I do all my own prototyping.
Yeah.
They mean 3D printing is usually what they mean by rapid prototyping.
That's not always what rapid prototyping
means.
They probably mean that. Yeah.
I don't know.
We haven't. Someone should do the Pepsi challenge where they take one model and they send it off to all the different places and see how fast it comes back and the quality.
When I was a kid, rapid prototyping just meant like soldering and stuff. Just meant like building stuff. It didn't mean 3D printing. Because 3D
when
printing.
I was a kid, it meant 3D printing.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe
it's a Parsons thing.
It was like
when I was a kid,
machines, like a 3D printer, like big Stratasys one.
When I was a kid, it was called rabid prototyping, and it's when you got rabies.
You started making stuff?
And you had to get these shots in your stomach. It was really bad.
The dogs biting you?
Next up. How necessary would you deem using the correct resistor in a project versus any random resistor?
I would not suggest using a random resistor.
Yeah.
I would use the resistor specified in the project.
Yeah, otherwise it might not work out.
Chances are, if they specified it, there's a reason.
Yeah, you definitely should use the resistors. Which one?
LiPo battery one.
Okay, next up the LiPo battery question. Did I miss it?
I could ask it. How do you suggest protecting a LiPo battery in a wearable project so that it's less dangerous? Or would they put it in a box?
A box, yeah. If you put it in a box, because the problem with wearables is that you're just more likely to puncture or bend because you're moving around. It's not protected.
So protect from puncture and bending.
Soft pack LiPo batteries are meant to be put in hard cases, like iPhones or cell phones or whatever. So they're not meant to be just like dangling off of a tiara.
And you're short, but you should protect it from shorts. Extra protection, because if it shorts, it could burn you or start a fire.
Yeah, it's also good. I actually once had a long time ago, I had a LiPo battery in my pocket, and it shorted against itself, and it puffed up and heated up in my pocket. I was like, oh my god!
Chemical burn, heat burn.
This was before you could get LiPo batteries from Mauser or DigiKey with protection cells. So you should always get protected cells.
Somebody says electrocuted, dead, or just shocked. You won't even really get shocked. It'll just burn you.
You will not get shocked. You will get burnt.
Yeah.
It will cause a fire. It will not electrocute you.
How would you protect people from electrocution on EL wire power on an Arduino shield?
Don't touch the part that has a high voltage on it. I don't know. Put it in a box.
Especially don't lick it.
Don't lick it. Put it in a box.
Yeah. All right. I think we got through most of the questions.
Yeah, we have a lot of time for questions.
Wrap it up in Sugru. That is a good idea.
You could put Sugru, but then you just have to make sure it stays attached and all that.
Yeah. Have you ever considered selling lithium iron phosphate batteries as a safe alternative to LiPos?
I have, but they're still. I haven't had time to really test them, but they are a safer alternative. The problem is that they come in cells, and the cells aren't very small, and so. They tend to be pretty big because they're meant to be used in electric bicycle packs.
Yeah.
So unlike lithium polymers, you can't get them small. So the question is, are they useful even in these big chunky sizes? And also the voltage is it spikes much higher when it's charged. So it's going to be if you're going to use those, you have to just be aware that the voltage is going to be much higher when they're charged, and then they drop very fast. And then they only come in these cylindrical shapes, and not to use a lithium polymer charger for them. And so we have to figure out a way to do it so that people use them in sort of an educated manner, so that they don't. They are safer, but they're still not completely safe. No battery is completely safe. So.
No, a battery is basically a bomb. Just keep that in mind.
They're all basically bombs. So.
Lots of energy, little tiny space, bomb.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you want to risk and what you want to build and what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain that, but everyone wants more power, but
I do have a box with some in them, and I'm trying them out and seeing how they work. I'm not completely convinced yet, but I might be convincible soon.
Next up, what's a good website to learn the absolute basics of electronic videos besides your tutorials? I would say
Colin has some good videos.
What?
Colin has some good videos.
I was going to say the absolute basics of electronics, you probably want to look at Colin's videos, number one, if you're just into videos, if you're an internet person. But if you want to get a book, the Make Electronics book is pretty good.
The Make Electronics books and the Forrest Mims books are both beginner books.
Believe it or not, there isn't a Colin's Academy of learning electronics because I think it is a little bit of, it is more book friendly. It is one of the few
Well, you
types
have to
of
sit
learning.
there and you have to look at these diagrams and check through it. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The PC subject question earlier was about high frequency dielectrics. I haven't found anyone willing to make boards for less than $500 for a small single layer. Wondering if you had suggestions.
I don't understand what the question is. What is he having?
Well, I think they were asking about different types of PCB substrate.
If you need a high frequency dielectric, then yeah, you're gonna have to pay more because you have to panelize it on a big panel, and they're gonna have to stop everything to get you your special panel. So you can make it yourself, or yeah, I don't know. I don't use different dielectrics. I only use FR4.
New edition of the Art Electronics. Who knows? We don't think it's.
We have to do that betting pool.
Yeah, we don't think it's going to come out.
We think it's. Well, we don't want to say never.
No, I mean maybe. Okay, eventually it could. But,
eventually.
But it's so good that it's really difficult to imagine another one.
Transistors haven't changed much.
They're not. Physics aren't changing too much.
Physics is pretty much the same. A MOSFET's pretty much the same. Op amps are pretty much the same.
Yeah. All right.
Electrolytics and ceramics are pretty much the same.
What's a good ultra low dropout LDO?
I mean, there's 20,000 different LDOs. You need to know specifically what makes it good. Is it the low dropout? Is it the high current? Is it the package size? Go to DigiKey and you can sort through 10,000 different LDOs depending on all your specification to find the perfect one.
That sounds like fun.
I don't know what to say. I mean, it's just like, what is the best capacitor? It's like, well, it depends on what you want to do with it. There's no one best capacitor, or that would be the only capacitor you could buy. Yeah. And that's a fair answer.
Yep, that's good. All right, I think we're almost done with journal questions, unless there's any more. Any more?
There's a lag,
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. So it said there was only 3 chapters left to write for the 3rd edition of Art of Electronics, and
but those are the longest chapters.
And I've written books, I read books. The last 3 were.
We have a lot of friends who are very close to finishing books, so we don't want to mention them, but writing books is really, really hard, and finishing books is even harder.
Yeah.
You wrote 2 or 3 books.
Yeah.
But you were just crazy. So you didn't know how hard it was.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine now. Next up,
you know better than to write a book.
Yeah. I will never write a book again.
That's right.
Yeah. Next
you learned your lesson.
Yeah. What's a good way to write off my electronic expenses? I have an electronics business.
Have a business.
Yeah.
If you have a consulting business and you don't bill your the component costs to your clients, I believe you can deduct those as a business R&D expense, but ask your accountant. Your accountant will know specifically.
So your handmade electronics on Etsy?
Well, you have to file Schedule C then. I mean, there's no you have to clear that income.
And there's only so many years in a row you can claim on your taxes that you have lost money. But you can do it a couple years.
It's 3 to 5 years. You have to prove that you have to make money eventually,
right.
Or they basically say it's a hobby, not a business. So it has to be a hobby. It has to be a business, not a hobby. And they will audit you, and it's unpleasant. So, yeah. Because that's basically what they look for. There's only 2 things they look for, and one of them is are you deducting a lot of expenses and not making money? Well, probably you do not run a real business.
Yeah.
I don't even think I think there's a computer does that. A person isn't even involved.
One last question, and then we'll go to trivia. Resistors, carbon versus metal film. Why choose one over the other?
Cost. Carbon film's cheaper.
Not flavor or aesthetic?
This is the thing. I don't know. I think a lot of people think that there's one thing that's better, and it never works that way. It's something's going to be cheaper, and something's going to be higher precision. Something's going to be noisier, and something's going to be, comes in different packages. There's no carbon is better than metal film, or electrolytic is better than ceramic. Dip is better than surface mount. It doesn't work that way. There's always trade-offs. That's kind of what engineering's all about.
Yeah. Okay. And that is the end of general questions. That was it. That was a lot of good questions. All right. Next up is a trivia. Are you getting that cat, Becky?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It's trivia question time.
And Becky's running away.
All right. It's trivia question time. You want to do the rules?
The rules are, if you've won a fabulous prize from our giveaway, please write your answer on a piece of paper, or hide your keyboard, or get a sandwich or something, so other people can win a fabulous prize. The first person who answers correctly into the chat window that we see on our chat window, not your chat window, is the winner. Don't call us up and complain about if you think you won and you didn't. And if you're a friend of ours, then you can't enter this contest.
Okay. So in celebration of Robotics Week, I'm going to give away a motor party pack.
Okay.
That's a nice thing. It comes with a motor shield,
stepper
motors,
servo,
yeah,
DC motor.
It's really good. So it's going to be an audio question I'm going to ask.
Oh.
The motor shield comes with 4H bridges. What is the chipset?
Yeah, what chip is in the motor driver?
What is it? Type it out.
Type it out, type it out, type it out.
And 532 is wrong.
No, that's the NFC chip.
Oh,
I can't.
I think... No, who got it?
Nope.
I think...
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. I'm just going to say nope. Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No. No.
Okay, it looks like...
Johnny Boats.
Johnny Boats got it.
It's
Johnny
the
Boats.
L293D. Actually, technically, it's the L293D and E, which is the dip format. But they're all dipped. I don't know why they add the NE at the end. Anyways,
Right.
it's the
Johnny Boats.
L293D.
Email support@adafruit.com and you will get the...
You will get a bunch of L293Ds.
Yeah.
As well as a PCB and some components and
Except for a cat.
motors.
What do you
I'm going to pass the cat.
It's the cat ceremony. Passing the
I'm
cat.
passing out the cat.
Yeah.
You're going to pass the cat on the left-hand side?
Yeah. I like how he's kind of turned the jelly. Okay, here's a cat. Meow. Time for a cat. Sometimes he meows.
He's looking into the lens. That's good.
Oh, he's purring.
He's doing a tiny gurgle.
He's waving. Hey, everybody. Hello. Say something, Westman. Come on, say something. Hello. Okay. All right.
He's not collaborating.
Okay. That show went by fast. Thank you, Becky.
He's purring.
That's good. That was a good little
cat
typing
delivery.
thing. Yeah.
Cat delivery. Like, where'd Becky go? Oh, wait, she's probably in the cat.
Yeah, that's good. He's getting wet. Here he is. He's black and I'm black, so I can't really.
Oh, you're really purry.
Yeah.
His nose is really wet. A damp nose.
All right. So we'll be back next week as usual.
Yeah.
Lots more stuff.
Yes.
Big week ahead. Cool things.
Yes.
And taxes.
Yeah, Monday we have to pay our taxes. Don't forget to pay your taxes, everybody, especially if you have an electronics business.
Yeah. You have to pay a lot of taxes.
Yes, you have to pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah.
But that's part of the deal.
Let's go. Okay, so we'll see everybody back. Do you want to come back?
Yeah,
and say
bye.
Okay.
Everybody
Thank you, George. Thank you, John Engineer. Thank you, everybody. Shut up. Thank you, all the show and tell participants. Yeah. There's a big. Here, I'll do this.
It was
way.
a big thing.
Yeah.
I know. Usually the thing was over my head, and so I was asked for it to be moved.
Yeah, so we moved it over. So here he goes. Goodbye.
No.
Yeah. He's kind of a cat lump. He's just this black lump. So
Yeah, he's lumpy.
He's purring.
Okay, you got him?
I got the cat.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. Here is your moment of Zener.